Jeremiah came to a confused junction when God told Jeremiah, prophesy about a great evil that will be coming upon the land of Jerusalem. The people of Israel had done me evil, and I'm now asking you, speak to them. Jeremiah spoke, warned them. He was happy. I have warned these people. But one morning he woke up. He had a noise everywhere. He came out. What is happening? They said Nebuchadnezzar had come to capture Israel and the entire people of Jerusalem. And he would have said, I told you. I warned you. My prophecy has come to pass. But the actual person that Nebuchadnezzar sought for dearly was Jeremiah himself. He arrested Jeremiah, took everybody into captivity, but made sure that Jeremiah was put inside a dungeon. Now, you are the prophet that prophesied, that warned the people. And when the prophecy came to pass, you are now the one suffering most. It looks like a confused junction. Ezekiel, that's what we read. God told him, I'm going to do something. I'm going to take something dear to you. And when it happens, don't talk. He was speaking to him, prophesy, tell Israel this is what will happen. And he agreed. Now he prophesied in the morning. In the evening, his own wife died. And God had warned him, when this happened, don't cry. Don't mourn. Can I hear you say, God, at my confused junction? That was where he found himself. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came to a confused junction. When they boasted in the name of the Lord their God, that we will not bow down to this graven image. And suddenly they were held. I had expected that God would show up. The moment the first person touched them, they would have said to him, don't touch me. God will not allow you to touch me. But God was still in heaven. They held them. They bound them. The cloud didn't rumble. There was no thunder. There was no fire. There was not even rain to scatter the crowd. The crowd was building up the more. And they were being, wrapped up to be thrown into the fire. They say, even if our God did not deliver us, and they threw them into the fire, then the fourth man showed up in the fire. At your confused junction, God may be very slow, but it does not change the plan and purpose of God. Say amen. Abraham came to his confused junction when he was childless for many years. God should have left it at that point. This man is childless, okay, his name is Abraham. But God still showed up and changed his name and called him Abraham, father of many nations. So now, wherever Abraham walked into and answered, father of many nations, people looked around to see the children around him, that there was no child. That was a confused junction. Am I still communicating? Elijah came to a confused junction after he had killed 450 prophets of Baal and was celebrating the victory. Jezebel came and he ran away. God himself told him where to go, to Brook Cherith. Sit down there where I will feed you from heaven. Oh, he obeyed God. God hath taken me to a place where he will take care of me. But one day the brook dried. One day the bird stopped bringing food. That was a confused junction. Zachariah at the temple was at his confused junction. Zachariah married Elizabeth. Elizabeth was of the direct lineage of priest Aaron. Yet they had no child. For many years, this man of God was at the temple dedicating children on a daily basis. Every Sunday, every month, there was a child to dedicate. But he himself had no child of his own. The Bible attested of their testimony. They were wonderful people. They were godly people. They had priestly grandparentage. Yet, there was no child. Yet, his assignment was to dedicate other people's children, even when he had none. That is a confused junction. Confused junction came for Peter. Jesus told his disciples one day that a great thing is about to happen. And he said to them, let those who have no sword sell their coat and buy a sword. Peter obeyed directly what God had said. He had no sword, so he sold his coat, bought a sword. And on that day Jesus was to be arrested. He knew that this is the day. This is the moment for which our master had told us what to do. And then he drew the sword. When he drew the sword, one young man, Malchus, showed up and he cut off the ear. When that happened, he looked for other disciples. No other person had a sword. He looked for Jesus, who would have encouraged him, start from here, others will start from here, I will start from here. But instead of Jesus doing that, Jesus bent down, picked the ear, and put it back. And now turned to Peter and said to Peter, Peter, he that killeth with the sword will die with the sword. That was a confused junction. If you read the Bible said, from that moment, Peter began to follow afar off. He was so confused. How could you have told me, sell coats and buy sword? And now that I have complied, you are now the same one, restoring the ear and making me the villain. Are you confused at any point? I don't know who is listening to me this morning. You may be watching from any part, anywhere. I don't know your confused junction. Jesus himself was also there. When he was hanging on the cross, he became like a tanker that carries fuel without fuel in its own carburetor. People looked at him and say, physician, heal thyself. Yet he did nothing.